VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
The world's #1 streaming music station, VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesdays, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stanton, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Chanel's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, the Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULN, news and analysis, information, sports, and Black history. With your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show, with host Gloria Mello each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com. VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah. I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah, yeah. We have powerful words. We have
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon. Great afternoon.
Yes,
and it's
it
a
is.
beautiful day out.
Yes,
it's actually
it is.
pretty warm. I walked out the door and was like, whoa, I didn't expect this. So I have to admit, I have been kind of lounging around this week because it's spring break. So the kids don't get up. I don't get up. It's just like my schedule is like all off whack. I'm like, I got to pull it together here. But it's Wednesday, so we are here at Impact the World Radio. We're here every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. with phenomenal men and women who come to share their unique gift in the world. I think all of us should be on a mission to intentionally share our gift, whatever that thing is. I don't care if it's baking sweet potato pies. I don't care if it's beating faces to the gods. If it's speaking, if it's working out, and we're gonna touch all of those today. I don't care what it is. Are you sharing it? Are you being intentional with getting and when we say voice is not just, your voice in terms of you have to be a speaker, your voice in terms of your impact on other people's lives. And so that's what I love about all these women who are in the studio with me today, is that they are doing just that. Like, they are risk takers, they playing big, they calling all the shots, I'm just saying. So you get to talk to them and hear from them today on Impact the World Radio. Now, before I jump in, I do want to, I got to give a huge shout out. I am connected to some bad women, bad to the bone. And so I want to give a huge shout out to Miss Mickey Taylor, who is the editor at large of Essence Magazine. And I got to say, I was thinking about it today. My relationship with her has been one of the most rewarding and most reciprocal relationships I think I've ever been in. And that you don't find that all the time. Like, especially for somebody who is as iconic as she is at that level, I find that sometimes I'm always the one just giving. It's like, for real? I can't get nothing back in. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not that you go in looking for that, but you do want to be in reciprocal relationships that are equally valuable and beneficial. And that doesn't happen a lot. I'm just going to be real honest. I've rubbed shoulders with and hung out with and been in a relationship with people who are at a very high level, and it's typically not, it hasn't been reciprocal. So I just want to shout her out because I think that speaks volumes to her spirit. She is probably one of the most successful, but yet one of the most humble women I know. She does not let ego get to that. Like, she not ego tripping at all. So I just want to shout her out for the relationship that I believe God has divinely placed in my life that has been extremely rewarding and reciprocal. And as a matter of fact, she is going to be launching her new book, which is called Editor-in-Chic. Oh, hunty. That just sounds amazing. The book cover is amazing. She looks amazing on the her new photos. I'm like, you better do it, Miss Mickey Taylor. To be a woman of a certain age, especially, I'm like, she just keep that thing together. As a matter of fact, we had her as a guest. I did an exclusive luncheon at the United Nations last month, with the co-authors of my new book, Women Inspiring Nations, and she was our featured surprise guest. Nobody knew she was coming because I didn't want to tell them, because I know with celebrities, sometimes their schedule changes instantly. So I didn't want people to know and then be disappointed. Sure enough, she was able to come. She blessed our spirits, and she's a phenomenal woman. But anyway, so she's doing this new book, Editor-in-Chic, which also has stories of some other amazing, I won't even spoil it, but it comes out May 1st. She's coming here to the DMV, y'all. Hey, Shanae. Hey, Ida. She's coming to the DMV. Mark your calendars. Sunday, May 20th. And guess who we have teamed up with and partnered with? Come on. Last week we had an amazing, beautiful woman named Ramunda Young in the building, who is the founder of Mahogany Books. It is the first bookstore that has been open in the Washington, D.C. Anacostia area in 20 years. Really? 20 years, y'all. And it's African-American owned. Her and her husband own this bookstore. Good. So she was the first person I thought of. I was like, sis, we got to partner up on this thing. Like, Mickey Taylor, me, you. Come on now. Look, easy yes. Easy yes. I love sisters like that, who are open to collaborations and supporting each other. So sure enough, we are having the book signing, meet, greet, and book signing for Mickey Taylor on Sunday, May 20th, 4 p.m. at Mahogany Books in Washington, D.C. Now, I mean, we couldn't start the show any better than that, right? So I'm super honored to connect with both of these ladies. If you are interested in getting a ticket, which I'll tell you this, I just put the announcement up this morning, probably 2 hours ago. We only have 80 seats available. Seriously, before I left the house, we were at like 66. So it will be sold out before this afternoon. Probably by the time I get home.
Wait a minute
from
now.
This radio show, right? She's like, let me get on right now. So if you want to get a ticket, now it's completely free. It's no cost. So we are not charging for you to attend. All you have to do is go online to MickeyTaylorBookSigning.com. MickeyTaylorBookSigning.com. If somebody could jot that on Facebook, that would be great. Hey, Tawanda Livingston, great to see you here. Hey, Babette Owen, thanks for being here. Mickey Taylor, that's M-I-K-K-I Taylor, Taylor, booksigning.com. That's all you got to do. And there are two options. There's a VIP and there's a general. You don't pay for either. The only reason that you would select VIP is if you want to guarantee that there's going to be a book available for you. Okay. So that means you intend to come and purchase a book. I think the book is like $26. So you would come, meet her, greet her, get her autograph there, and get your book copy there. So the bookstore, Mahogany Book, is only going to order based on how many VIP responses we get. So we don't want to have 300 books, for 80 people. Or we don't want to have 80 books if only 40 people are going to buy books, right? So it just makes sense so that we don't have to return a whole lot of product. So MickeyTaylorBookSigning.com, May 20th. It's a Sunday at 4 p.m. So you get to go and praise the Lord and get your worship on and go and get a little bite to eat and then come there and enjoy this amazing event. Look, Takia, I gotta get my seat. I gotta get my.
I'm just gonna hold on.
Whoever's a friend of Takia's, get her a
get
ticket.
my ticket.
Go online and get
Somebody
her.
get me
Thank you,
Takia
Kenya.
Ross.
Thank you, Kenya, for putting that up. MickeyTaylorBookSigning.com. Thank you so much. Thank you, girl. I like you. Who's Kenya Nails? Thank you, sis, for being here. She's posting all the juicy stuff on Facebook for us.
I like
all right, so let me jump in because I want to make sure that we give adequate time to our guests. My first guest, let me tell you, my sister loves this chick right here. Like, she loves her some Takia Ross. So Takia is the owner of Accessmatized Makeup Artistry, where she provides professional, affordable, and reliable services that meets the needs of her clients' busy schedules while helping them to facilitate their ability to be their most confident selves. Her company is transforming access to beauty services by offering appointments, check this out, between 4 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I can't, look, I'm going to tell y'all a pet peeve. I cannot stand when a business owner tells me they only open 9 to 5.
Oh,
you really trying to be in business? Oh, that's what you're doing? You go get a job. That's what jobs do. Well, especially when you're in the early stages and you got to be on your grind and you got to do things that other people won't. So I love that that's kind of a competitive advantage for you. 4 a.m. to 11 p.m., as well as giving clients service location options to include their professional makeup studio, a location of your choosing, which means they come to you, and check this out, Pretty Mobile Baltimore, Baltimore DMV's first mobile makeup studio. So is it called Pretty Mobile Baltimore or Pretty Mobile?
It's Pretty Mobile Baltimore.
Okay, so Pretty Mobile Baltimore, whoop, whoop, shout out to Baltimore, my hometown, which is DMV's first mobile makeup studio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm
you
so
look
excited to be here.
gorgeous. Make sure
Thank
people
you.
can see you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
So as I said, my twin sister, we shouting out Shareem good.
Yes,
She
you know that's
man,
my boo
she
thing.
That's your boo
That's
thing.
my boo thing. Y'all know that's my boo thing.
I thought I was her boo thing, but the way she talk about Takia, auntie,
that's my
but
boo
that
thing.
speaks volumes to the level of service that you provide. Because she is always she's like I am. I have this relationship with Mahogany Williams. You guys know Mahogany Williams Moss now. She married now.
She married
y'all.
now.
And we connected through a what was it? I was doing a launch. I was going to be on a magazine cover. So we're doing a photo shoot, and I needed a makeup artist. It was my first time meeting her. It was not a paid gig.
Right.
She saw it on Facebook, came and did it, and we've been in a relationship ever since.
Yeah.
And she's like my go-to. Like, Mahogany, what's up? Now, you guys know I've shared this before that Mahogany recently was in the battle for her life, like literally fighting breast cancer. And I think she's down to her last 1 or 2 treatments. Praise God.
Yes.
We have been praying for you, Mahogany. We love you. And I've been trying to give her a little breathing space, but I'm just saying, I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
I'm coming for you, right. So how did you get started in this industry? Like, what made you know that makeup was your thing?
To be totally honest, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not know. I started like most other small businesses. I started in the kitchen in my house. And I started to make a way for my children. I needed to get additional income, more revenue. I was working, I was teaching at the time. So I'm trained to be a teacher. I was teaching history at CCBC and at Morgan State University.
Wow.
And it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't. And so I started doing friends, you know, like, oh girl,
Now,
I
when you
just
say it wasn't enough, it wasn't enough what?
It wasn't enough money.
Okay.
It wasn't enough. I could not sustain my family.
Got it.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm a single mom of 3.
Okay.
So, you know, as they grew, their needs changed.
Absolutely.
You know, so you go from Pampers and daycare to, you know, school trips.
Yes.
To
Instrument, playing instruments,
don't say nothing about
tennis
that.
shoes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now you're going to bring up all of it, stuff, you know. And then I was about to have a daughter my daughter's 18, so she was going into college. How was I supposed to pay for that?
Right.
So I was like, okay, we need to think of something. And I've always loved makeup. So I was always the crazy aunt with the feather lashes and like glitter lips and stuff like that. You know, you got one. Everybody got one. Everybody got one. And so I just like, I'll do my friends and family. You know, I'll just do friends and family. And they started telling people. So they started like, you know, my aunt do makeup, my cousin do makeup. And I'm looking at them like, I don't do no makeup. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do makeup. I do your makeup. I don't do makeup.
Right.
And it kind of started from there. And people literally started showing up at my house.
Wow.
Like they would, you know, knock on the door. I heard you was the lady that did makeup. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it was organic. It grew out of a need of mine, and then a need of the women I was servicing. So a lot of times, like you said, 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. came because a lot of women were getting their makeup done before work for something at work or after work, and they couldn't, when somebody closes at 5 or 6, where you going?
Exactly.
What you doing? Exactly. So if you got an event, you got babies, and you know, and it was like, bring your kids, you can still get makeup done. Have you ever gone somewhere and they had that no kids allowed? No kids allowed.
Yes,
and I mean, that's hard for a mom. Like, that's hard. Like, what are you doing? So I'm like, all right, look, bring the kids. Get your makeup done.
Oh, I love that.
You know.
Now I see why my sister loves you.
Yeah,
that right there just gave me, seriously, it gave me goosebumps because that's real talk.
It is.
Like when you're a mother, like, look, your kids are a priority.
Yes, they are.
So you don't want to be juggling, okay, well, do I take care of the kids or do I go get my face beat for this amazing event or this experience? So for you to say, bring the kids, come on, I got you. Right. That is just, that's so powerful.
Yeah, so that's how it kind of started.
So it kind of found you.
Yes, it jumped up on me.
Yeah,
that's what I said, jumped up on my back, this part, like round the back side.
So then talk about, okay, so from the startup. All right, I wasn't planning on doing it. I started doing it for some family and friends, but then it became a business. So talk about the investments that you've made in the business to go from, okay, I'm a newbie rookie, to, no, I'm going to master this craft and be the most amazing at it.
Okay, so for me, it was one day I woke up, don't laugh. Now, one day I woke up and the IRS was looking for me. I'm being honest. Like, you know, because a lot of times when you start a small business in your home, you know, this is just something you're getting a little extra change, you know, but then you start making, I'm a cash-based business. So I'm starting to make deposits into my bank account, you know, of money that I'm making. And I didn't even realize how much money I was making.
Because you were grinding.
I was just doing it. Like, I'll do your makeup, I'll do it. And one day the IRS was like, ma'am,
they came to tap you on the shoulder.
You got some other stuff going on here. We need to account for this revenue. And for me, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. I was not trained in business. You know, I was a history teacher. So I wasn't trained. I didn't know about income statements and expense sheets and business plan. And don't see, now you're doing it. Now she gonna bring up stuff I didn't want to. Okay. So what I did was, for me, I went, and it was so funny, I found a business plan competition. So I was like, I need help. Somebody needs to help me put this on paper so that I know what I'm doing. And so I found a business plan competition, and I went into this competition with the hopes of having a plan at the end. It was money attached to it, but I didn't care about the money. Like, I'm just like, I just need somebody to help me figure out what I'm doing. So I went through it, and we made it to the final round, and we won. So I won a cash investment into my business. So that was like $1,000. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is really good. With that $1,000, I literally invested in a bus. So I bought the bus. That was my first big investment, was the bus. But after that, I realized one thing that small businesses have challenges with is raising that first initial capital, that capital infusion. We think that if I make enough money and I invest that money back into the business, that's going to be enough. Oftentimes it's not, because you're not paying yourself. So you're not paying yourself. You're just, you know, and if you don't make money in the business, then that means nobody makes money. The business doesn't make money, you're not making money, and you can't grow. So what I started doing was participating in these types of competitions for 3 years. And it's kind of like that investment round that they talk about, like when you're a big business, when you go into the seed funding round. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was like, is money here, so let me go and try to get some. And so from that, we raised about $65,000.
Wow.
Towards
Y'all hear that?
$65,000 in our investment round to kind of start and grow my business. And for me, makeup, honestly, is one of those businesses where you can do it with minimal investment. I started my business with $500. That was all I had. So that minimal investment, I just kept, you know, growing. I kept reinvesting the money until I was able to say, wait a minute, we doing a little something here.
We a real business.
We're real business.
We ain't a business
no
we're
not a business. We're not a business.
Right.
We're a business now. So that's how we kind of started, with raising the capital. And we still are. We're only 5 years old. So we're still raising capital. It is just different now. You know, now it's about building a team.
Absolutely. So we're going to get to that conversation in just a moment. I love that. I'm going to put that down because I want to talk about definitely building a team. But I also want to talk about the fact that, well, I love everything that you talked about. And it's true that access to capital is one of the biggest challenges that women in business face. And so I love that you were creative in how you gained that access to that capital. And there are a lot of ways to gain access, but you got to be willing to go after it.
Yes.
There are grants and there are programs. And even for myself, when I came into the speaking industry, I did not want to do corporate.
Okay.
I did not want to do government stuff, corporate stuff, because I didn't want to be tied up in the red tape that goes along with it. I didn't, and not to mention, to be honest, when I left corporate, I didn't want to ever go back. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to talk to nobody in corporate. I didn't want to go visit. I didn't want to visit. I forgot everybody's names. Like, I was running so far from corporate that I didn't even want to think about that as a part of my business. But let me tell you, that's really where the cash is.
It is.
The payment is when you talk about being a speaker. Is a lot of it is in the corporate sector and in the government sector. And so some of the things I had to do, I was so scared to do. I was scared to go get a DUNS number. I was scared to sign up in the SAM system so I could do government speaking. I was just like, it's going to take too long. Yes. They're going to be all up in my business. And like, it's just so much red tape. But I'm telling you, it is worth going through the red tape. So I urge all women who are in business, if you're challenged with the access to capital, to be open.
Yes.
Open your mind up to what you're willing to try, what you're willing to do, and tap into, and be willing to kind of run in the direction of the things that scare you the most. Because like you said, I love that you said, I didn't know about the seeding and the funding part, and I was like, okay, but it's some money over here. We're going to go and we're going to try. Because nothing beats, what's that saying? Nothing beats a failure, but a try, honey. You got to try. And even if you try and you fail, you learn something.
Yes, you did.
You're like, because first of all, you learn a lot of times by being in the space. So you hear other people, you hear what they say. You're like, oh, okay, well, that's what we got to know the next time we come back. So it's a lesson and information in every experience that you embark upon. But I also wanted to talk about the fact that so the makeup industry, similar to the speaker industry, seems very saturated.
It is.
So you feel like everybody and their mama is doing makeup. So I want to talk about how have you separated yourself outside of the core hours. I think that is just such a great competitive advantage. But also, what are other ways that you separate yourself? And then I also wanted to kind of tack on to that. How do you competitively price yourself so that you're making money, but you're not? I find that some people, it doesn't matter if they're makeup artists, it doesn't matter if they're speakers, they are pricing themselves out of being considered. Because it's like, you putting your fee up here, but nobody ain't gonna pay you that. You haven't even, first of all, you haven't even developed the credibility and the reputation to be paid that. I can't, so you guys know, I coached with Lisa Nichols. I paid $40,000 to have 7 hours in a room with Lisa Nichols. Y'all hear what I'm saying? My husband thought I was cray. 40 G's. But that chick been in the game for 20 years. So she can command that rate. If I tell somebody, oh yeah, VIP, they 40 G's, they're going to think I'm crazy. So I have to understand where I am, where I play, what my value is, what my credibility is based on where I am. So I want you to talk about that. About pricing and about how you distinguish yourself in the marketplace outside of the core hours. What else do you do to make yourself stand
one
apart?
of the major things for me, I would say is customer service. You have to provide excellent customer service. And one of the things is it's not necessary. I tell people a lot, it's how I make you feel. You buy things and you continue to work with people you know, love, and trust. Right? So you have to know them, love them, and trust them in some kind of way. And not the love, oh my God, we go, that kind of love. But you have to have some kind of, they have to make you feel a certain kind of way for you to continue to do business with them. For me, it's about making sure that my clients feel that they are the most important person in the world in that moment. In my moment, just us. It's just us, and you are the most important thing ever. So what I've done is, when I only schedule one appointment at a time. You will never have a wait. So when you show up in my studio, it's just you. There's nobody looking at you while you're getting your makeup done. There's nobody asking questions about why did you do that and who did that. It's none of that. It's just you. So for 1 whole hour, you get to be whoever you want to be. You can be vulnerable. You can be a boss. You can be, Takia, I don't know. You can be whatever it is. You can be quiet.
Like, girl, I don't like that lipstick. You got to change that color,
You can be anything that you want to be. But I think that like that's my niche.
Yeah.
You know, I only service one client at a time. My clients get to talk to me. I make sure I check on my clients because we're family. So now I want to know how you doing. How was your event? How did your makeup work for you? Mm-hmm. Like, did you want to change something? Do you wish you would have had something different? Mm-hmm. You know, I make sure I have to know everything about you. Cherie?
Yeah, okay. Twin power.
Yeah, twin power. For her, like with her and with all of my other clients, I know everything about her skin and her regimen. Mm-hmm. So if she changes something, when I see you, what happened? What you do? You're not drinking water. You're not, because we're now in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? I got to pause right there. I think that's such a powerful point. That's just, I mean, knowing your client base, knowing them beyond just, oh, they came and wrote you a check or paid you. So I got to give a huge shout out, because you awakening all this stuff in me, to Jackie Hicks. She is the same way. She is a photographer extraordinaire, as I like to call her. Somebody please tag Jackie Hicks on this. That I'm giving her a shout out because she knows me. When I come to do my headshots, and I don't let anybody else do my headshots. When she does my headshots, first of all, that's not me. I ain't the model type. I'm just like, child, you got to tell me what to do, how to pose, where I'm supposed to stand. And she'll say, Cheryl, you look tired. I've never seen you look this tired. All right, let me have Letitia, who is the person who does the makeup there. Let me have her, beat around in my eyes a little bit more. Whatever. But I love that. I love that she knows me enough. She's done enough of my work that she knows me beyond just, okay, come in, pose, and let's take. No, she knows what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with. She will even go in if I've been at her house, at her studio, and I have done photo shoots, like especially earlier on, and she like, this what you wearing? Girl, I got some stuff in the back. This what you wearing?
Right.
Nah, Cheryl, nah. And she does it with those kind spirit, right? Like, because she wants me to look amazing and feel amazing. So she'll go in her little drawer and pull out these bad earrings, and she knows what look she's going for me, based on a repeat client. So I just love that you function from that space, and I do think that is also a competitive advantage. So talk about pricing and how you don't have to tell your price, but how have you decided what your price will be? Do you compare it to other people and what they charge? How do you come about what your price will be?
You research your target market. I'm in Baltimore. Baltimore's market is different from DC's market.
Absolutely.
It's different from Bowie's market. It's different from New York's market. So you have to adjust accordingly. So I know what the range that my clients in Baltimore are willing to pay. You know the range.
Yeah.
And you kind of price yourself in the range according to, I feel, this is my personal feeling, your expertise. So how far along are you in this?
Yeah.
So how, your credentials.
Yes.
So what can you bring to the table? Like I am a published makeup artist. You know what I mean? I have done art shows. So it's just like I can bring that to the table. Yeah. So it's your level of expertise. And then you have to know how to raise your rates. So if you are going to raise your rates, just like any other profession or job, you deserve a raise, after you've kind of, like, I've been here in this space, like we raised our rates for the first time in 5 years this year. But what we did was, in order to let our clients know, I started letting them know 2 months ahead of time that on January 1st, our rates would change. Right. You can't just drop rates on people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times that's what happens. And then your clients are frustrated because, yesterday you were 50, today you're 75. Wait, what happened? What happened? So you have to kind of let them know, I am raising my rates. This is the rate change. This is what you can expect. And if you are good, your clients will follow. If you are good, your clients recognize, you know what?
You're worth that.
You're worth that.
Yeah.
I'll pay that. That's fine.
So what do you do for, I call them 1%ers, right? So there are those 1%ers who have been with us since day one, like when we was broke, busted, and disgusted. Like, what do you do special for your 1%ers? Do you grandfather them in at a certain rate? Do you, is there anything special that you do? And you may do nothing, I'm just asking.
So my my day oneers, the people that have been with me for a long time, they will tell you their rates have never changed.
Okay.
because these are the people that have been rocking out with me.
And I think that's so important. Like, stop forgetting the people that was there when you ain't had jack.
Yeah.
When you was like, can you come pick me up and take me to the... Like, stop forgetting your one percenters. Those people who are your ride or die, like, they just go hard for you. They've been there when you ain't had, one client. Like, I just think that, I think sometimes businesses forget that. I've had relationships with businesses where they was broke, busted, and disgusted, and I've been on retainer with these businesses, like supporting them when I didn't have to, and they get a case of the big heads when they start getting customers. First of all, I sent all the customers to you, right? Like, you got to remember where you started, and you got to remember who's been there to help you with the grassroots.
And the funny thing is, most of the time, your one percenters will pay you your worth.
Yeah,
they're going to pay you.
They're going to give you more,
right?
Anyway.
And so that's what I found. Like, I don't change.
Yeah,
you know. And these, and I'm being very specific. These are the people that have been with me when I was in the kitchen. You know, the people who let me play and makeup on them, who went out sometimes and was just like, "Girl, you know that contour wasn't all the way
I have clients who, before, when the question was, Cheryl will who? And they will never pay my full speaker rate, ever. In fact, most times I just be like, look, tell me what the gig is, tell me where to be, I'm gonna be there, I got you, period. Because I just don't forget where I started, and I don't forget those people who helped me when I was literally at the bottom trying to rise. So I just think that's important for all of you who are in business. Don't get a case of the big heads. Don't get so, you know, your ego is bigger than anything else now, and you feel like you don't need the people. Because let me tell you how life is and business is. Woo, honey, everything comes back full circle, and you never know who you're going to need, what you're going to need, and who they know. So it's very important that you just stay level-headed. And some people don't like that word humble, but I just believe in humility. I believe in being a self-promoter. I'm going to promote myself. I can market myself and promote myself better than anybody else can. But I'm always going to maintain the humility because I know where my blessings come from. And they don't come because of me and from me. And my gifts don't come from me because of me. It was gifted to me. So I'm just being a vessel and utilizing the gift. Yes.
One of the things I was going to say is I have something that I write and I remind myself daily is don't believe your hype. Do not believe the hype of that people, because people will hype you up, you know what I mean? And it will expand your ego, you know? So now your ego is huge, and it's like you have to remember, you know, there was a time when you weren't here.
Absolutely.
You know, and there can be a time when you're not here again.
Hello. And because we know a lot of folks who rise and then they fall. So it's just, you want to make sure if you happen to have that fall, that you find everybody else coming down, boom, 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 boom. Like, you want to make sure.
You fall gracefully.
Yes. So, all right. So let's talk about first of all, let's talk about social media.
Oh, okay.
And talk about how social media has impacted the growth of your business, or has it impacted the growth of your business? And then I want to touch on the whole piece of team building.
So social media for me, of course, Instagram and Facebook are big because they are visual, and so you can post pictures and that sort of thing. To be totally honest, word of mouth. Word of mouth has been the biggest contributor to my growth, and I think to leveraging experiences. So you never know who your client is. You never know, and so a lot of times I have been known to have a mean face. You know, when you're resting, you just have like, I just look. I got a mean resting face, and I don't mean any harm by it. It's just how my face is, and I can be really, really happy. But what I have to remind myself is I am on the moment I get in the car. The moment I step out of my house, I am now on. So I have to remind myself to smile. You know what I mean? Make sure I'm making eye contact. Make sure I'm connecting with people wherever I am. You are a walking billboard. I am accessomatized. I tell people all the time, I am her. She is me. And so I make sure that I represent her the way I want her to be represented all the time. And social media is really good with, you know, getting your story out there to a broader base. But you also have to recognize, does social media pay you?
Well, social media can pay you.
It can, but if it's not at the time, then you have to go with what pays you.
So let me piggyback on that. So this is what I'm going to say about social media. Social media is one of the most powerful tools you can ever implement.
Yes,
I'm telling you, I have more media appearances. I get more speaking gigs. I get more through social media, but it's because I'm consistent. I'm consistent. My messaging is consistent.
Yes.
I'm not all over the place. And you cannot, as you mentioned, you can't get confused with raving fans versus paying customers. Your job is to get those people interested in what you do, but then convert them to paying customers. So you can't just solely rely on that, but it is a powerful place tool to kind of build your reputation, your visibility, your brand DNA. Like social media, don't take that thing for granted. And it's free. Now, you can also take it to the next level, and you can, of course, do Facebook ads so that you can get an even broader reach. That's worked for me very, very brilliantly through literally targeted searches and targeting certain demographics so that we reach the people we want outside of my zip code.
That's right.
Because you got to get outside of your zip code if you're really going to succeed in any business. So you're right. You can't just rely on social media. And you do have to be very intentional about getting those people from raving fans over to converting them into paying customers who are buying a service. So don't spend all day on social media.
No way.
Like, you need to have a time frame. For me, I know, bam, I drop my kids off, top of the morning, as soon as I drop them off somewhere between 9 and 10, posting my post, and I'm off. Because now I'm on to revenue generating activities. What are your revenue generating activities that you can do? You've done your little social media piece. You've had your presence. You're consistent. But now you need to go also and do some things that actually put money in the bank account. So this has been a great conversation. I mean, I cannot believe we're like out of time already. It's time for us to wrap up. I want you to talk about how you are building your team, if you can do that maybe in a 30 to 60 second window. And then what piece of advice do you want to leave for maybe up and coming makeup artists who want to get started, and maybe they are where you were 5 years ago. What advice can you give to them? So
in 30 seconds, I'm building a team based on consistency. So I make sure that my team is providing, one, the customer service. So I have staples. You have to be able to provide the customer service. I can teach you a lot of things. I can teach you how to put on eyeshadow. I can teach you how to put on lipstick. I cannot teach you how to love my clients the way I love them.
Absolutely.
And so that's key. That's my number one thing. Can you provide the customer service that we require at Accessamatize? And so that's how I kind of started building my team. And we're really good. We're growing. In regard to makeup artists in general, one of the things, and this is for all entrepreneurs, I always tell people, allow yourself the grace and mercy that you afford others. So a lot of times we allow people, grace and allow them to make mistakes and say, it's okay, you're learning, you be making mistakes. But when it comes to ourselves, like we, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, I'm messing up. And it's just like, you know what? Grace and mercy. So I always say that to people, grace and mercy. So just afford yourself the same grace and mercy to make mistakes, to get it wrong, but to try again.
Absolutely.
So that's
I love that. I think that's fantastic advice. I think this was 2 weeks ago. I had Vita McCoy on, and we talked a lot about grace, and we talked about, again, forgiving yourself. And I always say this. I always say success strokes your ego, but failure teaches you how to do it better the next time. So don't run from failure. Don't run from how you messed up. Like, it's okay. Don't crush your own spirit because you did something the wrong way or you could have done it better, because you'll have another opportunity as long as you stay in the game. That's the point. You got to stay in the game, stick with it, don't quit. So again, we have been just so blessed and so honored to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for pouring into our audience. Thank you for your words of wisdom. And for those who perhaps are up and coming, how can people connect with you outside of this show?
They can reach us on social media, all of our social media at Accessamatize. We can also be found online at www.accessamatize.com.
I love it. See how she's just consistent, y'all. Everything is
Accessamatize. Accessamatize.
All right, so make sure you look her up, Miss Takia Ross, here on Impact World Radio. We are coming up after this 1 minute break with our next guest, the amazing, the incomparable, the bad to the bone.
I'm ready for this.
The up at 4 a.m. to have you working out, Miss Natasha Mayo. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see, yeah. I will reach my destiny, yeah. I don't need your permission, yes, I'm on a mission, I'll win. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh.
Woo, I never get tired of that song. I don't know about y'all. Somebody, Nova, I got a shout out to Nova, who was on Facebook, Nova Adams. She said, standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder, playtime is over. Yes, it is. We got to give a huge shout out to Tammy Turner, who wrote, produced, and sang or performed that song for the Playtime is Over conference in November. And we've just, adopted that as our anthem here on the show because playtime is over. Like, you got to stop playing with your own emotions about what you want in life and stop allowing yourself to just put your dreams on a back burner because everything ain't right and everything ain't lined up the way you want it to be. Just get started. You can always shift and pivot and make changes along the way. So before we continue, I have to thank our platinum partners, Cherie M. Good, who is gearing up in 10 days for her 8th annual Recharge Health, Wellness, and Fitness Expo on Saturday, April 14th. That's next Saturday. If you don't know, you've been under a rock because I'm telling you, this expo is phenomenal. Not just because she's my sister, but it is absolutely phenomenal. You get to come. It's completely free. This is community work that she's been doing for the past 8 years. It's at the Doubletree by Hilton in Pikesville, Maryland. So all you have to do is register. It's completely free, but you just got to register at rechargenow2018.eventbrite.com. Again, that's Recharge Now. Somebody could type that in the feed for me on Facebook. That would be great. Rechargenow2018.eventbrite.com. The 8th annual Recharge Health, Wellness, and Fitness Expo. So there are exercise demos, literally, that you can participate in. There are chefs who come in and cook healthy food, and they will give you samples of that food so you can walk around and sample all the healthy food, because all of us have to, look, the reality is, you guys know I've been on my own health and wellness journey. Food is a huge part of it. Like, I think it's like 80%. This woman here, she'll confirm for us what it is, because she know all the stats and the figures. I'm just saying, she's the real guru. But I want to see you there. I will be in the building. I'll be interviewing some folks and doing what I do, running my mouth. So I hope to see you there on Saturday, April 14th from 10 to 3. And then our other platinum partner, Ladrine Peterson, who is a career strategist that's passionate about inspiring and helping others to optimize and implement their career ideas, fulfill their career dreams, and achieve their professional goals. She helps turn dreamers into doers. And she has been hosting this series of Speak Life Youth Vision Board parties. And I'm telling you, they've been so extremely successful. I'm proud of you. I'm giving a shout out to Ladrine, a shout out to Ida Robinson, her partner, for creating a safe space where young people can come and dream big. And be able to create and craft their own vision. It's just powerful. You can learn more about Ladrine at do-it-delivers.com. So thank you so much. All right, my next guest, bad to the bone. I don't even want to touch your arm. I'm glad you covered your arms up today. Her name is Natasha Mayo. She's the execution strategist, founder of Body by Tasha, and owner of the brick and mortar BBT Fitness Haven. She has coached hundreds, I think that's probably more like thousands of people through their personal transformation journeys as they renew their minds, increase their energy, maximize their productivity, and were healed from fatal diseases. She demonstrates the mind-body connection in action, Taking the principles from the 30-day detox challenge and her traveling boot camps, she conducts business coaching through 2 courses, the Mastermind Accountability Boot Camp and So You've Launched Your Business, Now What? In her role as the execution strategist, her mission is to help new and aspiring women and entrepreneurs to launch thriving businesses. She says, God has given me the gift of execution, and I'm passionate about sharing the gift with people who are launching or reinventing their businesses. She is affectionately known as Coach. Me too. We got that in common. They call me Coach, but they might call you Coach more. She's affectionately known as Coach or Tasha. She's a woman of God, a mother of 2 amazing young men, business execution strategist, fitness enthusiast, yes, and personal trainer. Welcome to the show, sis.
Thank you.
I just love you.
Having me.
Look, let me just tell you, we got history.
Yes.
Because Natasha has been one of those people who has been on me about my health and wellness for a long time. And I think, you do it when you're ready.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Absolutely.
Because I always hear, and you always say that, like, look, when you ready, what's up? I'm ready. Like, she never gives you allows you to make an excuse.
Right.
She just knows that you have to be ready. And I think mentally more than anything. So talk about how you got started in your own journey. Because I feel like almost our journeys are a little bit similar where I am now. And so you tell your story and then I'll chime in.
Yeah, absolutely. So it all started in 2009 when I actually literally came to myself, if you will, and looked myself in the mirror and said, how did you get here? Weighing almost 300 pounds. Actually, my highest weight was 271. And literally asking that question, how did you get here? Actually looking at my life, I have 2 children, as you shared in the bio, now one 20 and the other one 24, one of which that has special needs. And I realized that if I didn't make a change about my health, that I would check out of here early as a result of me not doing something that I had control over. And so at that point, I considered gastric bypass. And so we typically do what the influencers in our life do.
Yeah.
And my mom had gastric bypass, so that's what I considered. However, it literally scared me straight because the surgery is so invasive that I was like, I don't know about that. However, I had no knowledge. So I continued in the process of going through the weight management course. And doing that, I literally lost too much weight to qualify for the surgery.
Wow.
But I was still overweight.
Right.
So that was the jump start of it.
Yeah.
And then from there, just continuing on in the process.
And I'm going to be very transparent on the show today. So I basically was at that place and I was like, I just cannot believe my weight is where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in upward of an 18-20 size dress.
Yeah.
My highest weight, I was at 263, about 263. Yeah. And I'm like, Cheryl, in a minute, you're going to be it's going to be hard for you to breathe, to walk. Your knees going to hurt. Like, you about to hit 300 pounds, chick. When you going to do something about it?
Yeah.
And I have to say this, we're in a society now where I feel like the surgery is an easy out. And I feel like everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And because, technology has shifted so much and medical advancement has shifted so much, it doesn't seem like it did even 5 or 10 years ago where it's like, what? You gonna get that? No, it's like, oh girl, just go get that thing snipped out, get a piece of your stomach cut off and go on, keep it moving.
Right.
But for me, I did want to be, I really wanted to be and want to be the poster child for you can do it through what you eat, not having to go under the knife. And for me, that is very serious because I've had 6 major abdominal surgeries. So I don't ever, and I had them because I had to have them.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go in to have surgery if I don't have to, an invasive surgery like that, if I don't have to, if I can do something about it.
Right.
And so I realized that I could do something about it, but the biggest part was the food. And that was the hard part because I didn't want to change. So I would, girl, I didn't work with you. I didn't work with Belinda. I didn't work with all these fitness trainers, Johnny, over at Johnny Boy Fitness. I'm in the gym. I'm doing the ropes. I'm lifting weights like, yeah. Girl, wasn't nothing happening because I was still eating fried chicken, pizza, and French fries.
Yeah.
So this year I just came in with a different mindset that, Cheryl, you got to change the way you eat. Like, there's no other way to do this thing if you don't shift the way you eat. So talk about that, because I think that's part of the scariest part for people is like, I'm not going to get to enjoy life no more. Because eating is such a big part of life.
It is. We eat all of our emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, happy, mad, sad, or glad. We're eating it.
Yeah.
And so first of all, let me just say kudos to you for releasing 38 pounds. Like, that is absolutely amazing, right? And so people look at their end goal and they'll say, okay, I want to lose 100 pounds. And they'll get to 38 and it's like, oh, I still have 60 to go. No, 38 pounds is a major feat. That's almost like 3 dress sizes.
Girl.
So you gotta
so true.
celebrate every
Yes,
win.
yes.
Like literally celebrate every win. So kudos to you for that. I absolutely love
it's so
it.
hard. Like, it is the hardest thing I've ever done. It literally brings me to tears because
Yeah.
it's so hard. And
Yeah.
you're right. And I'm like, I still see so much more I have to lose. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got another 65 to go.
Yeah.
That sometimes I can't celebrate the 38.
Right,
But you're
yeah.
right. It's like, you got to be like, no, chick, look, in January 2nd, you was just at this number.
Exactly.
And now you 38 pounds released in what, 3 months?
Yeah.
Like, so you're right. I got to start celebrating
That's major.
that. Yeah.
And then also on the flip side of it, it could have been 38 pounds gained.
Yeah, hey, girl, I need you in my life. I got to get me some Natasha Mayo in my life, y'all. Y'all don't understand. That is so true. I love the way you frame things and the
Yeah.
perspective. And
Thank
look,
you.
I'll never forget you said something to me. I was like, I never told you it was but I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because you said, for a while I wondered, like, you're this powerful woman. And I wonder what keeps the weight on you. And I was like, ain't no mental issues. And I'm telling you, like, Belinda B-Fit, I've told her the same thing. I'm like, no, people try to make it all deep about, oh, I'm holding on to this baggage. And I was like, it's not that deep. It's just, I just need to stop eating. But it really is.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is deeper than you think it is.
It begins and it ends with your mind, right? And so a lot of times people don't sit with the issues because I know that people aren't where they are because they want to. It's something that's going on the inside of them. And so I always tell my clients, it's never about what you're eating, but what's eating you. And so once we get to what's eating you, we can deal with what you're eating.
Wow.
That's the easy part.
Very
So you got to sit with what's eating you, the triggers that are coming up when you don't want to eat what you know was right for you. You got to deal with that trigger. What is that? Why am I feeling that particular trigger about this situation? I have the 30-day detox jumpstart, and I had a young lady in the group last week, and she posted, I wanted bacon today, and I just got angry. And so why? And so a lot of times people just want to will their way through it. Like, okay, I'm not going to have the bacon. I'm just going to drink my water, go to bed. No, you can't will your way through it. That's something that you have to heal your way through because that trigger, that feeling is not going to go away until you heal it. And so it's never about the bacon. It's never about the food. It's something on the inside of you with regards to restrictions, if you will, or control.
Oh, she is preaching. I'm just saying. I need some Natasha. If you need some Natasha Mayo in your life, somebody just type that in the feed. I need some Natasha Mayo in my life. It's so true. So what do you find are some of the triggers or some of the reasons why people are, like, for me, I still don't know if I've gotten to the core of, well, no, I do know one of the reasons why. So one of the things I know is when I was young that we were in a poverty-ridden environment. Yeah. And it was either feast or famine in our house. So, we were on government assistance. So when food stamps came out at the beginning of the month, it was like, yes, the refrigerator's packed. And then middle of the month to the end of the month, it's like, oh, we eating cheese and mama making some biscuits and we eating lima beans. And y'all know, y'all who work with me know, don't give me no lima beans. I will go off on you if you show me some lima beans. Yeah. But I remember growing up and like, nobody will ever tell me what I can or cannot have when I grow up and I get a job. Yeah. Nobody will ever tell me that I can't get that box of shrimp fried rice. I can't get that steak. I can't get that. And that stuck with me for a long time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so I felt like it was almost like, it was sort of rebellious, like, oh no, you ain't never gonna tell me what I can't have to eat. Yeah. But what do you find through working with your clients that some of the, maybe the challenges are, or the deeper psychological things?
Yeah, so it varies. It could be something that you experienced in your childhood. Like you said, you didn't have what you wanted all the time. Yeah. So then when you got to the place where you could, you went back and was like, oh, I'm gonna have it all. And it could be a factor where people just mentally feel like this does something for them. It's their comfort. It's their celebration. Yep. So this is how they celebrate. Yep. And it's okay to celebrate. You just have to govern how you celebrate and how much. And so my thing is, I don't do cheat meals. Like you have some trainers, some coaches that do cheat days. I don't do cheat meals because here's the thing. You only want a taste. And so if you deprive yourself of that taste until your cheat day comes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to overindulge.
That's so true.
Right? And so it's about setting the mindset to, one, I'm still in control because I'm choosing just to have a taste when I want it versus waiting until a certain day and then I'm going all in because I've deprived myself.
Oh, that's so good. You just so good, Natasha Mayo. You just so good, girl. I need to come get some sessions. I'm serious. I gotta come get some. just to work with my mindset.
Yeah,
with this
it's
thing.
all about the mindset. And I know
is.
because I have grown through the process. So many people go through the weight loss process, but I've grown through the process. I've had times like you mentioned about saying I have so long to go. My initial goal was to lose 120 pounds. And so when I lost the first 40, I had an adult tantrum with God. Because when you're in this fight, it's just you and God. And so I had an adult tantrum, and I was like, what am I doing all this for?
Right.
And he said, it's not just about you. And so, of course, like a child, I talked back. And I said, well, who is it for? Because it's just you and I. I'm looking around. It's just you and I. And so you know how sometimes when your kids talk back and you're like, you know what, I'm going to give you some grace, so I'm not even going to say anything.
Right.
So God didn't respond, but I continued in the process because it's my desire to please him. And so as I continued in the process, my breakthrough helped others, thousands, break through. And so from that, you got to know that people are watching you.
Oh, man.
People are watching.
Yeah.
And the influence that you have on their life is breaking them through, even right now, because Cheryl did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the right way, because I do believe sometimes surgery is the jump start for some people.
Absolutely.
Right? But knowing that you are setting that mindset and you're growing through the process, people are saying, I can do the same thing too. Cheryl hasn't had water. That post that you posted with your water bottles, this is my drink. That blessed somebody. That freed somebody.
Yeah, girl,
because you can drink 1,800 calories in just juice.
Because sometimes I miss my Coca-Colas. I'm just saying, I'm about to have a tantrum.
Yes.
It's so true. So for like the past 13 weeks, the only drink I've had is water.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't have no Kool-Aid. I can't have no soda. I can't have no, it's like that's not healthy for my body.
Right.
And then the crazy part is, I did think that it was just about the weight part, right?
Yeah.
But it's so much bigger than that.
It's so much bigger than that.
I've shared this and I'll share it again, is that when I started, my blood pressure was like 162/92 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And my paperwork from my last doctor's appointment said pre-hypertension.
Yeah.
Like I broke down and cried.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe, like, really, Cheryl? You can't, and for me it was like, okay, you have control over so many other aspects of your life. Why is this one like, just, evading you? Why can't you get this thing under control? And I remember somebody said to me once, it's weight. It's like you get to control. It's not like it's cancer where you don't have any control over it. Like this is something you can control. But I remember when I first went January 2nd, my blood pressure was 162/92. 1 week. 1 week of shifting. No sugars, no carbs. Well, I guess everything has some carbs or whatever. But
I know what you're saying.
Clean eating, as you guys call it. Healthy,
Yeah.
clean eating. 1 week dropped down to like 132 over like 85 or 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I could not believe that food had that big of impact on my health.
Absolutely.
My health, my wellness, like me being here, being around to raise my kids.
Yes.
So it's crazy.
Yes.
So what do you teach clients about the level of exercise that they need to be doing? Because sometimes I do feel like, okay, so I kind of get a little crazy with it. So I can sometimes go like overboard. So I'm hitting the gym, I'm doing like 65 minutes of cardio. Just like, really, Cheryl, is all this necessary? So talk about how you encourage people to kind of create a level of balance with your working out. Do you have to work out every day? Should you work out every day? How strenuous should it be?
Yeah. And so with working out every day, I always say, are you breathing every day? So there always should be some level of movement in your life. It should be different. You shouldn't do the same thing every day, but you should always have some level of movement in your life. As you grow through the process, you add. So people will jump in because they feel like, I want to lose this weight, I got to get it off now. Well, it took you 57 years to get here.
Exactly.
Don't think it's going to come off that fast. It's a process. And be patient with the process. Be patient with it. So if you start out doing 20 minutes a day and you're consistent, do that. And then add as you go along, because as you can see even now, you have more endurance than you had at the beginning.
Absolutely.
And so go follow, listen to your body in the sense as how far you can go. Now, if it's telling you not work out, that's a different thing. But listen to your
that
body.
you can get so quickly drawn back into not
Yes,
going.
absolutely.
Like if you don't stay consistent.
Because it's like a muscle.
Yes.
And so you've built this muscle over the years that is stronger than the muscle that you're currently building. And so it's the drive. People a lot of times will say, motivation. It's not motivation because you're not always motivated. It's your drive. It's your why. What's your connection to what you're doing is what's going to get you going when you're not always motivated.
And one of the things I find that's most challenging right now is I feel like I'm in this yucky in-between kind of phase, meaning, okay, I'm not in that 18-20 anymore.
Yeah.
I'll just share. Now I can get into, I'm in a 14,
hey,
right? Which is
yeah,
beautiful.
exactly.
But, oh my
God. And then let me just
God.
interject right there real quick. First of all, you got to realize that it's just not weight on the scale. Your organs have shrunk. Right,
Wow.
because they have to grow with us to keep up with us.
Right.
So you got to connect all of that and see the wins that your body.
So I need some Natasha Mayo in my life on a consistent basis. I can't do 5 a.m., but we're going to have to talk and work something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so true. But sometimes I do
that.
get caught in the whole, oh my God, my body doesn't still. Like, why is it sometimes I still can't see it?
Yeah.
Like, because my arms are still flabby. Like, I always been caught on my arms and my stomach. Like, from all of these surgeries, I got this, ugh.
Yeah.
So how do I stay motivated and keep the drive when my body isn't reflective? I don't feel it's reflective of how much work I'm doing and the fact that I'm sacrificing and
Yeah. And so, one, you got to change what you're doing. So a lot of times when people come into the weight loss scene, their journey, they just doing straight cardio.
Yeah.
And so you got to add the strength.
Yeah.
That's where the toning and the sculpting of the body comes from, is the strength. The cardio is going to help you drop the pounds. And so with that, if you don't tell the weight where to go, it's just going to go to gravity. So you gotta begin a strength regimen. And again, it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. Start with 7 minutes of doing your arms. 7 minutes of, I know you don't like the crunches.
and I hate lunges.
But just 7 minutes of just some core. But find what you like that's going to target what you want and do that.
Yeah.
Because there's no one size fit all.
Right.
It's not.
Really? We on Facebook Live. We don't have time to be answering calls. Yeah.
So switch up what you're doing. And so if you're doing 60 minutes, I know you like the elliptical, and that's great. If you're doing 60 minutes of the elliptical, because I know your time is your money.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you're doing 60 minutes of the elliptical, take 7 minutes and do strength. And you'll begin to see different, not just in the way you look, but also the way you feel. Because you're releasing different endorphins from different things.
Right. And I actually love strength training.
Yeah.
I used to be really, I don't know if you know, I used to be a certified personal trainer. I used to do that. Like, I would go to doctor's offices. I used to work at Sport and Health down in Tinleytown in D.C. Like, I was really big into fitness.
And
like,
your body remembers.
Thing. Oh, my God. I used to love it. And I feel the love still there. I think for me, in my mind, mentally, I'm like, well, if I start lifting the weights, is that going to reflect on the numbers on the scale? So I do kind of feel like I'm still married to the number on the scale versus I know if I add the strength, I'm like, okay, I'm building muscle.
Right.
It is different, but I do want to shape and contour.
Right.
I don't just want the stuff hanging.
Hello, Jesus. Yes.
Hello, Jesus. Right. Exactly.
Yes. And that's what people ask me, how's it that you don't have any hanging skin for losing over 100 pounds?
Right, you don't.
And that's because during the entire time I was strength training.
Wow.
So I was telling the weight where to go as I was losing it.
I love that. I was telling the weight where to go as I was losing it. I think we have a phone call, and this might be Cherie Good. Hello, welcome to Impact the World Radio.
Hello, yes, this is Cherie Good. Hello, how are you today?
Hey, Cherie Good. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing great.
Have you been listening to this conversation with Natasha?
No, I missed it. I am.
Well, girl, I'm just telling you, go back and listen to the replay, because girl, she on fire up in here. We talking about, telling the weight where to go.
Telling the weight where
Telling our weight where to go through weight training and strength training. I love it. But we did want to give you an opportunity. Your girl is in the studio, Mr. Kia Ross. She's still here. We talked about you earlier.
Hey.
But if you would go ahead and give us a little bit of information about your events, and then we'll jump back into the show.
Yes, we're talking about getting rid of the weight and telling it where to go. Come on out to the 8th Annual Recharge Health Wellness Fitness Expo. It's going down Saturday, April the 14th at the Doubletree by Hilton in Pikesville, Maryland, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We have over 50 vendors. It's totally free to the community. And we just want everybody to come out and get in the know about your health. We have wellness speakers. We have breakout sessions. Come on out and get your free massages. Just come out for a family fun day geared towards wellness.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so people can get registered. It's free. You can go to recharge2018.eventbrite.com. Thank you so much, Cherie, for calling in. We appreciate it. I will see you there next Saturday.
Thank you, ladies. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you. So even Cherie, she's doing the Health and Wellness and Fitness Expo. I mean, and it's good to be around other people who are on a similar path. Talk about that, because sometimes people can be naysayers and they can kind of deter you.
Absolutely.
If you're in the space and they're like, come on, girl, get a piece of this fried chicken.
Right.
It ain't gonna hurt you, right?
Yes, absolutely. And so what I tell my clients with that is that you have to put your community on notice. Let them know what it is that you're doing and let them know that you want them to respect your decision. And so if you have somebody that's saying it's not going to hurt you, they don't respect your decision. And so you need to redirect that relationship for that moment because your decision is what's going to help you get to your next dimension. And so right now they're not complimenting that. And so you got to put them on notice from the very beginning. A lot of times people fail to tell their community what they're doing, and so they succumb to what they usually do. So you have to tell your community what you're doing and ask for their support. It's not a game. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. So you offer me something that I'm not indulging in is a disrespect to me. And I know you don't want to disrespect me.
Right. I know you don't want to disrespect me. I'm just saying. I know you ain't do that intentionally. I love it. Now, I've watched you grow just so amazing. We're about to start wrapping up, but I just watched you grow. And I will never forget I was speaking at your, was it a retreat?
Yeah.
And girl, they was eating this stuff called quinoa. And I was like, no way, ain't trying to hear it. Like my mind was just like, so not on that. And y'all were just as happy.
Yeah.
Like, how could they be happy eating this stuff? Like, but I think you have to find what works for you, what you enjoy, right? Yeah. So I do a lot of now fish and veggies. And
I see it. I love the way you cook your salad.
Water and more water. But anyway, but I will never forget the quinoa and those darn smoothies y'all were making. Yeah. And everybody was just so happy. And I was just looking around like, ain't no bread, ain't no rice. Y'all have. But I love your commitment to the cause and your commitment to the mission of helping other people, knowing that what you did, what you accomplished wasn't just for you and just about you, that people are watching and you're inspiring other people. And I'm like, when you go to Tasha, you got to be ready. She don't play. She don't people acting like she don't play. She expect you to give your all. So now you have opened BBT Fitness Haven. Girl, make me want to cry because I remember when you were talking about what you wanted, and now you are living fully in that space. So tell us a little bit about BBT Fitness Haven, what people can expect, where it is, and then we'll kind of wrap up on that.
Okay. Ooh, you got me a little emotional. I haven't gotten emotional in a long time.
I'm so proud of you. I remember. Do you remember the conversations that we had?
Yeah.
And I was like, you've come so far.
Yeah.
And now you got your own spot. And she got her own spot. I'm here home like, girl, you better do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the courage to come yet, but I'm going. I'm trying to get my leg muscles built up a little bit more before I come over there. But tell the people about it and how long you've been there and all the great things.
Right. And so I remember that, and I got a little emotional, surprisingly, over that, because it's been 3 years. It's amazing that it's been 3 years since we opened up BBT Fitness Haven, and it was all of just following the voice of God, being obedient to the cause. And so I remember being in your space when I hired you to be my speaking coach. And even in that, right, I just see how God has multiplied that, and me knowing that I needed a coach to help me with my speaking career, and I wasn't even speaking.
Right.
And I wasn't even speaking at that time. And so BBT Fitness Haven is a place, it's a safe haven. It's exactly what it says. It's a place where people can come and not be judged. They can come wherever they are, in the space they are, and give themselves freely. And so what I mean by give themselves freely, when people typically come in an exercise, a fitness environment, they have already been beat up in their day. So they're coming to release, and they can release whether it's you crying, whether it's you screaming, whatever the case may be, you're coming to release. And so the difference with BBT Fitness Haven is we're specific for your need. We're not a gym. You can't come in and get on a treadmill or an elliptical. You're coming in specifically for the need that you want, the need that you desire, and we meet you right where you are. And so the difference with BBT Fitness Haven is it's all mental. And so while you're coming in to release exercise, to release weight, whatever it is that you're releasing, you're also releasing mental weight, mental baggage. And a lot of times people don't know that initially coming in, but when they come in, one way, they leave a completely different way. And it has been such a blessing to offer that difference to people because they need it. So many people are so interested in being strong, but if you are strong physically and weak mentally, there's a problem. And so I focus on your mental. Once I get your mental strong, the body, the strength will come. And so that's what we focus on, the whole man, mind, body, and spirit. You're going to get it all definitely when you come in, but we're mainly focusing on the mind.
I love it. I love it. Just so powerful. I just can't say how proud I am of you.
And then that retreat, you know, it's amazing. Again, I remember you said to me, because I was finishing up my coaching with you, and you said I was sitting back wondering, when is Natasha going to speak, right? Yep. And so I would hide in the background because I'm an executor. I have the gift of execution. I know how to get people to execute. So I would hide in the background, and when you said that, why aren't you speaking? I said, I got to get out there in the forefront, right? I got to get out there in the forefront. And so in that, the retreats, we're actually coming up on our retreat now, August 30th through September 4th, September 3rd. And so I am the only speaker there, and it's amazing.
You got to do it, Natasha.
This is the third time. I am the only speaker. I am holding the room. I am facilitating it through your teaching, right? So I appreciate all that you pour in on a consistent basis. You're consistent. You are consistent. And what I love about you is it's no fluff. Because that's what I am. When I look for coaches, I'm looking for me.
Right. And that's why
there's no fluff.
That's why I be scared, because I'm like, when I go sign up with Natasha, I already know she is me.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So no excuses. She's like, you want to do the work. You want this, you got to do the work.
Exactly.
But I love it. I love it. And I am, so one of my goals, you don't know this, now you know, is to get over there to one of them darn spin classes.
Yes, come on.
Girl, that
whenever you're ready.
Me, but I'm like, I know I can go
at my pace. But see, it's your race, your pace. Right. And so I have the gift of discernment. I really do. Is that I can look at, we have 20 bikes in there. I can look at each individual person and I can know exactly what you can do. And so I'm going to challenge you to challenge your challenge, but it's at your pace.
Right.
And so I personally don't do beginner classes, because here's my thought behind beginner classes. If everybody is a beginner, everybody will stay a beginner. And so all of my classes has beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And so beginner is looking at intermediate, and intermediate is looking at advanced, and advanced is looking at me. So everybody is in a growth process while you're growing.
Right.
So it's your race, your pace.
I love that. And you're right, because sometimes if I'm at the gym and I'm looking at this 80-year-old woman and she walking fast, and I'm like, wait a minute now.
Right.
Right. So you're right. It absolutely can encourage you to challenge your challenge, right?
Yes.
I love it. How can people get connected through social media? How can they come? Where is your fitness haven? Or how can they learn more about it?
Yeah. So we are located at 10903 Indian Head Highway in Fort Washington, Maryland. You can follow me across all social media platforms at Body by Tasha. That's Tasha with an O. And you can also find us at bodybytasha.com.
Woo! I need a drink of water after that. Thank you for being such an inspiration. Thank you for sharing your story. I love when you post that picture of that before and after picture of you. Yeah. It's so inspiring. So you come to my mind every time I'm in my race, and I'm like, there's certain words that you've said to me in the past that I'm like, oh, that daggone Natasha, you and Belinda, and some other people who have just supported me in the journey even before I was ready for the journey.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, you don't forget that stuff. Yeah, you don't forget those seeds. So thank you for planting so many seeds. Thank you for being here. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with our next guest, Dr. Sharon Porter.
Shoulder to shoulder, playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection, living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. I will reach my destiny. I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me.
All right, so I don't know about you, but I'm still fired up from Natasha Mayo. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna keep drinking my water, Natasha. I'm gonna keep drinking my water, eating my salmon and my veggies. I love cabbage. I do a lot of cabbage. I do a lot of broccoli. But all right, so our next guest is none other than Donna Taylor. Donna, the timid palate Taylor, began as a blogger writing about wine labels. She later discovered that each wine bottle had wonderful stories and history behind the labels, and she started earning money part-time as a wine consultant. She studied through the American Wine Society about researching and wine making, and then visited local winemakers, wineries, and vineyards. She started her wine tasting and consulting business in 2014, and today is paid to drink and educate consumers by hiring national beverage distributors. She uncorks wine interests everywhere she goes, and she is registered as an alcohol retail dealer to market and distribute fine wines and spirits in outlets across the DMV. Her future goal is to become a certified master wine importer. You can master everything, can't you? Welcome to the show, Donna.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, when I read this, when I was reading your bio, it kind of reminded me, we had a guest about 3 weeks ago. Her name was Ashley Tuck, and her whole concept is, we'll drink for travel. So she literally will go and do, so you got to look her up or maybe connect with her. Tell us how you got started, a little bit more about how you got started. And I know that women love wine, especially women.
Everybody does, actually, and thank you for asking me that, because when I started, I was in grad school. I was supposed to be doing my homework, and an article came through my computer, Wine Folly. So I was just reading it because I didn't feel like doing more homework, and it was a periodic chart for wine. And I'm a science major, so I said, wine has a periodic chart? Because there are over 162 other chemicals in wine. They don't put it on the bottle for fermentation and the whole list from A to Z. So I started reading about that, and it intrigued me. And so I did a little quiz with Wine Follies. They always test you when you read their articles. So I went in the store, and the article was, can you decipher what's in a bottle by looking at the outside? So I'm like, I don't know red from blue from white.
Right.
So reading the labels educated me on the density of wine. Sweet, medium, very dry. If you wanted something like cotton candy, if you wanted something that tastes like a cigar. So it got really interesting to me. And then on the bottles, they have some interesting stories. And they came to life to me. So I said, I'm going to educate people about wine, because a lot of people think that they only like sweet. And sweet can be red, it can be white, it can be purple, it can be orange. Wine now has come in an array of every texture, taste, and color. We
I
no
definitely
longer
didn't know that.
Yeah, we no longer have red and white wines anymore.
Right. Things have expanded.
In the
right?
70s, yeah, we all had red or white.
Yeah.
Yes,
So what would be one of the things that you would say would be outside of that? Because I think that's a very intriguing fact. What may be, my Facebook Live thing here is not working with me, but it's okay. We keep it moving. But what is one of the things that that people would be surprised to know about wine outside of what you just shared? Because that was so interesting that it comes in that many. I didn't know it came in that many colors.
Yeah.
And that many flavors.
Grape.
I had no idea.
Grape.
I always think just red, white.
I did too.
Red and white,
I did too. But to educate you more about that question, when you're looking at wine per se, the one thing that I didn't know is that this size bottle, 750 milligrams, is the largest that we can import here in the United States. Now, if I go over to Bahamas, I can get me a big liter. Don't you tell nobody. Big liter sangria.
Right.
So, also with looking at wines here in the United States, and I always say United States because there's a difference, we can only have up to 14% alcohol. Anything else higher than that, you're pushing the limit. You either have to own a vineyard, retail store, somebody like me. You can't just have all kinds of different complexities and densities of the wine liquid.
Wow.
Yes. So you can go as small as the 350. They have little miniature ones.
Right,
too.
Absolutely.
Those are kind of really cute. And then you have the 750, which is the normal size that you see in the store. There are some jugs like Port Taylor. You've seen some of those in the larger sangrias. And they come in a little larger size. Just really sangrias. You don't find too many of them.
Love it.
Yeah.
So then, oftentimes, let's say, this was before I started my little health and wellness regimen.
I heard you, and
I would go out, thank you, and go out and
wonderful.
have meals, right? And, sometimes they will offer a pairing of wine to go with certain food. Do you feel that there are, what is your thought on, like, certain wines? Should there be, should I drink a dry wine with something? Should I drink a sparkling something with a certain kind of meal? Like, or is it just based on your own palate, each person's palate?
You know what? I will tell you that it can be based on your palate. But if you're a snob, you must drink red wine with a steak. I'm animated too, guys.
You must drink red wine with a steak, yes.
And if you're having salmon, you must have white wine with salmon. But if you're anybody like me, and once I educate you, whatever you like, chocolate wine, sweet wine, if that is your preference, have it.
Chocolate wine.
Yeah, chocolate wine. Because there are people who like dessert wines. There are people who like very dry wines. There are people who like to have their wine with a cigar like Steve Harvey.
Right.
So you have a preference with a timid palate to have anything that you want.
So in your travels, as you've been, becoming this master,
It's been amazing.
well, that's called the right thing, this master wine person, right,
amazing.
consultant, if you will.
It's been
Like, what's the
amazing.
most interesting place that you've been, maybe it's been a vineyard or something like that?
Well, the first amazing place was here on the Eastern Shore. I took a drive down to the Eastern Shore, and I went to what was called the Mountain. I think it was like Mountain Blair. Don't quote me on that. And the scenery, it's just mountains, and it was so beautiful. So I had a picnic there. I got it off of the group coupon. That was my very first time going to a tasting. And it was a tasting picnic, and you did a tour. So I went in, and I was hanging out with the snobs because they had distributors there, and they had investors there. So they actually are looking for superb wines. Me, I didn't care. I just wanted to drink.
Right.
So I was walking around my cup. But I listened to them, and they are smelling the wine. They're looking at the wine. They're putting it at the light. And then I noticed that they also used white tablecloths only. So I'm like, what's with the white tablecloths? The white tablecloths represent, they want to see the color of the wine. They want to know if it's aged, if it's reserved. Those are some of the wine lingo that they use because they want to know what this wine quality is before they can either invest in your vineyard or invest in the winery and put it out to the market. So they're the ones that you really kind of get stuffy and scared about. Somebody like me, I'm just there to taste and to learn. And so the intrigue became even greater with knowing that there was so much science behind just making wine. And it was so much fun. I've done distillery with gin. I've done a little bit of wine. I have never done the foot stomping yet.
Okay.
Like Tiani has. And
you're going to do that, I'm sure.
You know what? I have to.
You have to, right.
I have
you
to.
Have
That's
to.
a little kid in me.
Right. Exactly. I mean, because you have so many other amazing things that you've already done. So as you're reaching for this goal of certified master wine importer, I'm sure that has to be like a part of your experience.
And it's only been 3 years. I mean, I started writing. The writing turned into blogging, and then someone reached out reading and said, have you ever thought about being a professional taster? And I'm like, I sit home all day tasting. What are you talking about here? They said, no. Please let me clarify that. You need a certification. So I said, certification? I didn't know. So I started researching. And then in order to do that, that is how I was able to determine the texture, the taste, the aroma, the smells, all those different things that went behind the wine that I didn't even care about. But when people are asked for me to come out, they say, well, can you tell me about the wine? And then I speak the science part of it, I speak the fun part of it, and then I can speak the sales part of it.
I love that.
Never knew that I was going to use all three.
But I love that your initial interest came from the science part of it, that you wanted to know what was in it.
Yeah, it was more for me. Nobody else cares about that. But that's
and now you've turned that into a thriving business. Like you're monetizing based on something that you enjoy anyway. And that, I mean, that's such a powerful notation for those who are watching who are considering businesses. Like, what is it that kind of comes to you naturally, that you enjoy? I think all of us have some unique gift, and sometimes we need to broaden our minds about how we can utilize that gift.
I agree.
Even for me. So when I came into speaking, it was just, I just want to speak. I want to be on stages and speak. But for this year, for 2018, I have some other additional goals that I have added to my plate that are I'm still verbally communicating, but it's completely outside of the realm of just being a speaker who's on stage speaking to an audience. So you'll see that kind of starting to unfold as I continue to go through the year. So when you mentioned aging, so when a wine ages, I'm presuming that it gets more expensive the longer it ages. Is that true?
Yes, it does, and no, it doesn't. Aging simply means that it goes past the 4-year mark. It's in a barrel, or it's in a steel fermentation can. And what they're saying is that we're going to make it, and we're going to put it over there to the side. Sort of like when we do our chicken. I heard you talk about your chicken. You say, I'm going to baste it, and I'm going to put it to the side because I want it to be seasoned, or I want it to absorb and marinate a little bit. So that's pretty much what aging and reserve is. It has a little bit longer time back in the dark.
Got it. So what's the most expensive bottle of wine you've ever seen, and what makes it, how does a bottle of wine go from, I don't know, $40 to $4,000?
The name, just like we buy a dress, just like we buy our shoes.
That's
it's just the name. The two wines that I have here, this wine I particularly bought because it was made by a woman. We talked about last month, women's, but it's a woman who fell in love. She fell in love with an Asian gentleman, and she said, I like wine, and at my wedding, I want to have wine. It just so happens his mother was a biochemist. Pillow talk. They talked about wine and how they can incorporate to their lives. And so this became the bottle with a beautiful swan. She did this by hand. She decided that she was in love. And it's a mandarin wine. Actually, it's fruit. It's a vegan wine. So it's about 7% alcohol in it. So it's very fruity. It could be good for someone that maybe if you are a diabetic, because diabetics really have a challenge with enjoying wine because of the high intake of sugar, and salt.
Wow, I did not know that. Vegan wine?
Yeah,
vegan
like
wine,
they call it bio-organic.
Right, like all this stuff. I'm like, maybe I need to become a taster, at least start as a taster.
Yeah, the taster.
And work my way on up. I think we have someone who's on the line. Hello, welcome to Impact the World Radio. You have a question? Hello? Okay, I think that's probably somebody who thought that they were tuning in, but they're calling to the line. So, I mean, just in the past 15 minutes, I've learned so much about wine that I didn't even know. So how can people reach you if they want you? So what do you typically get hired for? Like what type of engagements? People call you and say what? Can you come in?
Well, usually like you, when you reached out to me, they can find me on LinkedIn at Donna Timid Palette Taylor, Instagram, Facebook, of course, and also I do Twitter. And they would either read something that I said or read something where I went. And they would ask me, do you do weddings? Do you do team building parties? Do you do this? And so I said, well, you know what? Anything that you like. Wine is a conversation piece for me. It's a gathering tool. So I use it as a gathering tool and increase business traffic, or foot traffic, if you will, for businesses, services. It may be an existing business that's not doing very well. And I say, hey, I'll bring the wine, and you will bring the traffic. Because most of the time, people want to come together and know more about you. It just makes it more interesting that you have a little presentation in front of you.
Wine makes everything better, I believe. So
it does.
So
it wind down.
So you bring the wine, and then what happens? People can purchase bottles of the wine?
They can purchase some of the wines, and then some of the wines can be used for fundraisers. There are companies that call like One Hope. They strictly just sell wines for fundraising. They'll give 10% back to your business or your service or product.
That's really interesting.
And then you can market from the wines that they have, and it's up to you if you want to buy the wines. Now for me, the distributors will email me. Good morning, good afternoon, Donna Marie. We want to know if you're interested in marketing XYZ. And I'll say, look at the wine. They'll send me a whole list of where the stores are. There are local stores between Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Sometimes I go as far as Delaware sometimes, just to be able to go on a weekend trip, because I turn into a weekend trip. And from doing that, I set up in the store just like I would. And I wear all black because that's usually the traditional color. So, you know, if we waste anything, nobody would notice. And we talk about the wine, and we generate business for newcomers. It's not always people that have been out there on the market a long time, like Sutter Home and Gallo. These are people that are actually left their jobs and said, I'm going to create a wine. And speaking of wine, this interesting wine is made by three sisters.
Oh, I love that.
The funny story about this is that I only have one sister. And the three sisters decided that they wanted to create a wine together. The middle sister says she's the one that's sassy, a lot of mouth. She has these wonderful stories on the back of the bottles all the time. It's always something going on, drama in her life. So the sisters are Susan, Erin, I'm missing somebody else's name. I can't remember. And Erin does the actual social media. Susan does the labeling, and another sister does all the tasting, like me. So they came together.
She has a fun job.
Yeah, exactly. She has a fun job. So every time you see the middle sister, you will see pictures, and they're actually the things that they're doing every single day. Whether they're fighting over the business, they're talking about, because they do own a vineyard in California. So this was their marketing brand for Middle Sisters. So a lot of people who want to come together, and today with all sisters, I bought that too, just to remind us that collaboratively we do a lot of things together to kind of create a whole product, whether it's coaching, as such as you do, whether it's tasting with me or marketing a product. We come together as a gathering piece to figure out what's next, how to incorporate our business, how to expand the business, or either how to just bring two people together and say, you know what, I like wine too, but you know what, do you have the capital? You just never know who you may meet in this business. I've met everybody from vineyard owners to people who actually say, well, you know what, I just like to taste, so I have 1 million bottles at home. And I was like, oh, I'll come to your house.
Right, exactly. I'll come to you, no problem.
Right. So a lot of people do come to me because I have a lot of wine at home now. Because I do get to keep the wine when distributors call me to come. I can keep up to 4 bottles. They reimburse me for the wines that I buy, for mileage, just have fun. So I have like a little card.
I mean, I can't think of a more fun thing to do and generate some income doing it. So we want to wish you the best in your ongoing you're working towards your goal, certified master wine importer. We know that we'll be looking for the announcement when that happens because we already know that's going to happen.
Yeah, so much.
You seem very driven, and you seem like once you put your mind to something that you're going to get it done. So congratulations on the success of taking something fun and turning it into something even bigger. And like just being willing to have an open mind and be creative and allowing it to expand. And I think that's very powerful. So again, one more time where people can connect with you and reach you online.
You can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Donna, the Timid Palate Taylor.
Fantastic. You heard it here. All right, y'all. Now go get you a bottle of wine. As we come to the last segment of our show, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back with Dr. Sharon Porter.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see you say. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Bedtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy.
All right, building my legacy for the whole world to see. And we have another phenomenal guest here. And ironically, she is actually a part of the family here at Vox Wave. She has her own show on.
I Am Dr. Sharon show on Sundays.
On Sundays,
yes.
Right here in this same studio.
Yes.
So it's just so ironic that I have her here as a guest, which I'm absolutely honored. So just for those of you who don't know, let me make sure I give her the proper introduction. Dr. Sharon H. Porter, known as Dr. Sharon, is the owner of Perfect Time SHP LLC, founder of the Grind Entrepreneur Network, which I love, and Write the Book Now. She's the host and creator of the Write the Book Now interview and podcast show, the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight and Leadership Matters video podcast, and the I Am Dr. Sharon radio show. So you're just all over the world talking. I know. Now, you said something very interesting while we were at break, and I said, well, so basically you like to talk. And you was like, well, really, I don't. So talk about how you got into all of this radio, verbal communication stuff, but you don't really like to talk.
Absolutely. It is so amazing, actually. I am a 30 introvert. On the introvert scale, the max, 30. So it really is phenomenal how I came to do this. And it's really because of my 3-point thrust: educators, authors, and entrepreneurs. That's what I focus on, and I wanted to highlight all 3 of those individuals. And so the only way to highlight them is to really give them a platform so that they can shine.
Wow. Well, we definitely have something in common there, because that's one of I was just having a conversation before I came to the radio show. And I mentioned a little bit before that I'm going to be, kind of evolving into some new things, including a media company and some other exciting things that are coming up.
Awesome.
But one of my, it's like the longer you're in business, and the longer, I think the more you grow and allow yourself to, it's like you discover what you really love more than anything else.
Yes.
And there's just certain things, and a big piece of what I love is creating platforms for other women to share their story. Like, Absolutely. It gives me goosebumps.
Gives you
so
life.
We got
Yes.
something really in common. I just did, the Women Inspiring Nations book project,
Beautiful.
right? And I'm looking at the photos and I'm looking at the video, and I'm just like, you see the joy that comes from the people that you're creating the platform for, and it just, for people like us, I think it fuels us. People like us, it fuels us. So talk about how it fuels you, what it does for you to be able to create the platform.
It does, and I'm truly the background girl. I truly am, and people don't see that now.
Right.
But that's where I get my strength. It's when others are pushed forward. I love it, and that's why I began creating anthologies, because of the first time when I was a contributing author, that feeling that I felt when I got that book.
Yes.
And my words were in them. I said, I've got to allow other people to do this.
Yeah.
I've got to.
Yeah.
And so that's how it all started. That's how my podcast started. That's how me getting the show started. I said, I've got to bring people in so that they can share all the wonderful things that they are doing.
And so what if you had to face, your own fears or challenges as you've pushed yourself to kind of, because look, the reality is, you're pushing other people to the forefront, but you also have come to the forefront because of it, as a result of it.
Exactly.
So talk about how you've pressed through your own fears of perhaps being in the forefront.
And that's exactly what, because and not that I was truly afraid, I just didn't want to. And you probably can hear it. I'm from North Carolina originally, and so for the longest time, that was a barrier for me because I felt almost ashamed of my accent.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and
real.
So that
that's
was,
real.
And that truly stopped me for a long. I'm talking in my professional world. I'm an educator. Been an educator for over 25 years. Former principal, assistant principal, and still I would always push people forward.
Wow.
so that I didn't have to.
Right.
And because I came to this area, I've been here for over 20 years, and I would hear other people, and they would say, "You from North Carolina or South Carolina?" And that used to offend me. I mean, it's almost to the point that I would not talk.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that was really powerful for me. And it was not until I started network marketing, actually. Actually, I had been in network marketing, but I started in this company about 4 years ago. And I was surrounded by just all of this personal development, you know, this empowerment.
Yeah.
And it's where I actually found you. I was vending at the Boss Brunch, Towers, and you were there. This is about 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when I started my company because you guys inspired me.
Wow.
So I was doing, and not that network marketing isn't a lucrative building, but I said, oh my God, I'm going to come back to this conference and I'm going to be a business owner.
I love
And that's what I did.
Yes. and that's why it's so important that we walk in our gifts, because you never know who you are helping to usher into their gift, because you are listening to that divine direction and doing it even when you don't want to do it. Even when, like anybody, if you know me, like when I'm on stage, I tell people all the time, my Sasha Fierce comes out.
Yes.
Like, yes, honey. Like, that's just me. But when I'm off stage, I'm actually pretty reserved. I'm pretty quiet. I don't need a whole crowd around me. And so I push myself to be in the forefront because I know that that's my divine gifting. But it's like you never know who else is getting just a piece of inspiration from you doing that. For me, you'll hear me talk a lot about Doreen Rainey, because it was me watching her execute her Get Radical conference. Wow. And I would go year after year, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. Because I could see myself in her. So now you create this platform where people can see themselves in you, and they're like, okay, you know what? If she can do it, Dr. Cheryl can do it, maybe I can do it. And we get so much fulfillment from that. I love it. So we'll talk about the first book, the first anthology that you created as a platform.
The first one was Next in Line to Lead. And actually we're coming up on a year, our anniversary.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. And it was actually during the time I was writing my dissertation, because it's coming up a year on that. And I did my research on principal preparation. Right now, I'm a leadership coach, so I work with novice principals and novice assistant principals for the local school district. Okay. And so it was in the midst of my doing that research that I said, you know, I really want to know what other assistant principals around the country are doing to prepare themselves to become principals. Okay. And so my research for my dissertation limited me to just my school district. Okay. And so this book allowed me to get people from all over the country.
Get out of the zip code. Yes.
And so I have people from Texas, from California, from New Jersey, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina in this book. And Next in Line to Lead, the voice of the assistant principal, just gives voice to those assistant principals who, by the way, just recently people have started paying attention to assistant principals. But it gave them a voice to say, hey, I am next in line to lead, and this is what I'm doing to prepare myself to do that.
I love that. That's so awesome. Now, we just bumped into each other at a book festival.
Yes.
Book festival.
Yes.
And I was like, first of all, I didn't expect to see you. And she comes running over with a camera. So tell us what you were doing as a part of the, is it called Ujamaa? Ujamaa Book Festival, and what you were doing there. She had her camera set up and everything.
You know, and that is, oh my God, I love it. I was reporting live at the book festival, and it's something that I've started doing recently, and I love it. And shout out to Chris Murray Media, my partner, in the live reporting. And so it really, again, just giving some highlight to those authors who are out there, many of them first-time authors. So very excitable, you know, about it. And I love that. So it was just so awesome. And so, you know, just being able to partner with Bernard Reeves, the owner and the sponsor of the festival, was just amazing. And so he has another one that's coming out in September, and I'll be there. So just really excited about that opportunity in other conferences.
So outside of this, outside of the podcast, outside of the show that you do right here on Vox Wave, what else is Dr. Sharon Porter up to? Like, what's in your future that you feel like, you know, I haven't tapped into that yet, but I'm considering it, or I'm exploring it, or maybe.
Well, you know what? I am just really letting everything flow. I'm enjoying the moment right now. I am where I want to be.
Hello, you gotta say it. She's where she
I really am. And, you know, and it's not to say that I'm not aspiring to do other things, but I'm just enjoying what I have now. I still work my 9 to 5, and I love it. I still, you know, do all of my podcasts, and that was another thing.
someone said, God, you still doing your podcast? You got your live show? No, the podcast is where I started, and I love that.
Right.
Monday nights, I feature entrepreneurs. Tuesday night, I feature educators, and Wednesday night, I feature authors on my podcast. And then on Sundays, I get to feature all of them.
You're just a woman on the move. Look outside. I need a nap thinking about your schedule.
I love it. Totally.
But that's the difference. I believe that when you're doing what you love, you will get this, unnormal. Is that a word? Unnormal. You're the educator. You got to correct me. I didn't go to college, so.
You are so funny, Cheryl.
I got a public school education. So.
So
but seriously, like you get this unnatural, if you will, unnatural energy to push, and you're like, and people are looking at you like, how in the ham sandwich do you do that?
Yes.
I got a husband, I got 3 kids, I'm running a business, I'm here, there, and everywhere. You guys don't know if you heard, but I'm going to be traveling to Africa in a couple weeks, about 3 weeks. I'm super excited. Amazing. My whole family is going with me, and I just get goosebumps thinking about it. But people are always like, how do you, I'm working out now, Natasha, right? How do you do it? And I just think partially, I think I'm wired that way, but also I think it's because everything that I'm doing and touching, I feel blessed to be able to do, but I love it. Like it's authentically me. I'm not faking it. I'm not doing something just because it makes a quick buck. Like it is authentically aligned with who I know I'm supposed to be. And I think that's when you get that just kind of unnatural, if you will, energy to do things. And people are looking at you like, dang, I need a nap just looking at your schedule.
Absolutely.
I love it. So what else? So tell me about your upcoming. You have some upcoming projects.
I do. So this week actually is shipping out my newest anthology, which is Women Who Lead. Anthology features 21 amazing women.
All right.
And this is a first of a series that will be coming out. So I'm so excited about that. Just really, the women are really detailing their leadership journey, the obstacles, the challenges that they faced in leadership. And so various backgrounds, various industries, careers. So that's coming out, and I love that. It'll probably be at my door when I get home. I was wanted to be here.
She's like, come on, Cheryl, can we get up out of here?
So it was due today, and so and I'm so excited about that. And this is really my newfound love. It's really publishing these anthologies and helping others get published.
I love that.
And also helping dissertation, the doctoral students finish their dissertation. That's one of my new, because as you may remember from Rock Your Stage.
I remember. They might not know, but I know.
That it was a struggle, a 9-year struggle for me. And that's because a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
But so many people get caught up in that whole dissertation thing, and they never finish. And so I'm enjoying helping those doctoral students get through that. I'm actually having a book coming out on that one. So I'm excited that really was formulated through Rock Your Stage, the boot camp. So I'm excited about that. So that's going to be coming out very soon.
Look, keep up the good work. Keep impacting lives. And that's what I always want people to understand. Talk about that. Talk about, before I give my little dissertation here, talk about not feeling like there's not enough for you.
Oh my goodness.
Because sometimes, especially in the speaker industry, speaker, author, entrepreneur, it's like, especially in the DMV, unfortunately, a lot of times people feel like, it's just too many people doing it. There's not enough space for me. There's all these other people doing book anthologies. I shouldn't do one. Talk about how you've developed this abundance mindset that I can do it too.
Exactly. And you know what, because everyone is doing it, what's for you is for you, and people will follow you because of you.
Absolutely.
And I had to learn that, because I would go, and I think I heard you say this before, when you have a circle and you see some of your ideas in other places. That resonated with me so. But you know what? You can't get stuck there. And so I had to really learn that. People are they're gonna
exactly. Look, you will drive yourself crazy.
You will drive yourself crazy.
Every time somebody duplicates something that's like yours. Look, you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna magnetize people to you based on your energy, based on your story, based on how you say it. So if you and I and Natasha all said the same thing, somebody would get it from one of us different. They'd be like, I like the way she said it. Or it was the way she framed it. It could be the same thought, but they needed it from Natasha's voice, or they needed it from Dr. Sharon's voice. So I do think there's so much power in just jumping in and doing what you love, and not allowing that scarcity mindset of, it's too many people doing it, so I can't do it.
Exactly.
You absolutely can do it, and you should do it. So what's your story? We always talk about signature story. Like what is your core story? If somebody said, okay, well, I know that she helps doctoral students, and I know she helps people get their book back, but what's your real kind of life story of who you are and how you've become this person.
Well, it centers around the Grind Entrepreneur Network. My whole motto for that is keep grinding. And it's really, again, goes back to that dissertation because it took me forever.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, and
Yeah.
this class of 2017. This is why this one is so special to me.
You always have those special ones, right?
This one
Those
is so
extra
special
ones.
because
Yeah.
this details my journey to graduation last year. I was the class of 2017.
Wow.
I started in a doctoral program 2006. Okay. A long time ago, and finished 2012, not with the doctoral degree because I didn't finish, but I had enough credits to get a specialist degree in EDS, which I did. But I was ashamed. Again, that instead of being proud that I finished something.
Oh, now you talking. Now you talking.
I was like embarrassed, wouldn't put it on anything, and then I just had to wake up. I'm like, that was my 4th degree. Hello, I need to be proud of that.
Come under your tutelage.
Not really, and it took me like 2 years before I could say, yes, I have an EDS. You know, I did start out trying to get the EDD. And so once I did that in 2014, I started at Howard University at another doctoral program. Finished last year. So my story is to keep grinding, no matter what. And that goes for whatever you're going through.
The weight.
Yes, whatever. You just have to keep going and don't stop.
Yes, and cross the damn finish
line.
That's
it.
Like, okay, I don't care. It took you 12 years.
That's
whatever.
it.
Cross the finish line.
That's it.
And don't ever give up. You keep getting back up. You're like, all right, let me get back up.
That's
Let me try it
it.
again. So I love that. But I especially love what you talked about the shame part.
Yes.
So isn't that just ironic how, and I think this is a common thread amongst so many women. And you know, I get to talk to women and connect with women all across the world. And I'm telling you, it's always the same. It's like shame, guilt, fear, self-limiting beliefs of what I'm not. So here you got Cheryl Wood from the hood with no college degree, right? And I could have ran and hid from and shame from that. Then you got Dr. Sharon Porter, who it took you how long to get the PhD?
9 years.
9 years, who could hide and shame from that. But we're boldly coming out and saying, no, I'm not running from my truth.
Absolutely.
That was my story, my truth.
Absolutely.
And it will help somebody. I'll never forget, I was in Seattle, Washington. I was speaking at this conference. I was the only African-American woman in the room. I was their keynote speaker. And I remember telling that story because I never run from my truth. Somebody asked me recently, why do you still tell the story about not having a college degree? Why wouldn't I?
Right.
Like, it's my story. It's my
story.
truth. So I remember telling the story from the stage, and I was, saying how for a long time I didn't feel qualified to be speaking because it was like, all right, I'm just Cheryl with a public school education, no degree. So I shared that. I always get a little emotional when I talk about that because of how far God has brought me from what I didn't feel qualified for. And I'll never forget this. And this was like probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I remember this lady came over, Caucasian lady, right? And she's crying her eyes out. And she says, what you said touched my soul. She said, because you don't have a degree, but I have 4, and I still don't think I'm good enough.
Wow.
So when you talk about fear, self-limiting beliefs, doubt, questioning if you're qualified, that's like a universal thing that women oftentimes struggle with. So I love that you're sharing your story and your truth because it's going to touch somebody's life in a way that they're going to keep going and keep grinding because you kept grinding. So what? It took you that long. Okay, and you got it, don't you? You got that, what is it, PhD behind you? The big P, little H, and big D, you got that behind your name now, right? So that is such an amazing accomplishment. So what is it that you want people to know about you, perhaps that they don't know? Like you're out in the face. We have a face now. You're out in the marketplace. But what's something that people don't know about Dr. Sharon? That you're willing to tell on air?
Oh my God, that's a hard one, Cheryl. That is a hard one.
What do you do in your leisure? What do you enjoy doing?
Oh
What's
my
fun?
goodness, and that's probably something I need to work on because I don't. I'm a grinder. I work 9 to 5.
Natasha,
I know, but I am. I work. I get up at 3 a.m. every morning.
Wow.
Because I'm doing my perfect time stuff, my grind stuff, setting up everything. And I go to work.
Right.
And when I come back, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Exactly.
So it's really something to do that. And I enjoy it though, first of all. And so I haven't really found an outlet. I love to just relax. And so I do take time to relax.
Right.
I do that. But what I've learned, and I just hired an assistant. Woo! Thank you, Lord.
Awesome, right?
So that's going to help. I'm telling you, that's going to help a little bit.
Yes.
Absolutely. And also really, and listening to you said something else that was so impactful to me, that you have to be comfortable with the silence when you give a price. that thing helped me because I was the one, and you talked about it. I was the one that used to backpedal. This is my price, but
I understand if y'all on
exactly. I can give you a discount. And I said, "Oh my God, that isn't me," and I stopped it. I said it, and I left it alone. You don't want it? Go to the next one.
Exactly. You don't backpedal on that thing.
And that was me, Cheryl Wood. That was me.
That's fantastic. I love it. So do you? Okay, I'm trying to get some of the personal stuff.
Oh, I know.
Do you hit the gym? Do you like to walk? Do you like the beach? Do you like traveling? Okay, so she working on that.
I tell you, I don't.
You like grinding?
I do.
Right.
That's my thing, and there is not one. And I'm not a big traveler, but I know. And again, that's changed because now I'm going different places.
Absolutely.
I'm a homebody.
Yeah,
I love being home.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get out of that. I have a dog. I don't have any choice. I have a wonderful bonus daughter who's in her 20s. Yeah. So I don't have a child at home. Right. I have a lovely, lovely dog, Coco Cotton. Shout out to Coco Cotton.
Shout out to Coco.
Because I love her. It is hard leaving her. I know that sounds crazy.
So you got a child.
I do.
You know exactly
absolutely. Right. Even more so than my husband. You know what I'm saying? I love my dog. And so... And I shout out to my mom because she's in North Carolina, but when I have to fly out somewhere, she comes up here and watches my dog for me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, look, I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I love a person who's a grinder. All of us, we start from ground zero.
That's right.
And it's like, how consistent are you? How much do you show up? And I always tell people, you might not know who Cheryl Wood is right now, but you're going to know me by the time I leave this room.
I know
because I'm going to keep showing up, right? Because I know that I've been called to do this work. And clearly, this is the work that you've been called to do. So I celebrate you. I celebrate that you have gotten out of your own way of wanting to be in the background, but now you're kind of, God has a way of pushing you, like, look at here, I need you up here, helping these other people. So keep doing that. Keep showing up. As Nicole Mason says, show up great.
Yes.
Keep showing up great. It's like when I hear certain things, I'm like, I got to give credit to these folks who do these things. But show up great and just keep grinding because you are impacting lives. I see you so many places, and I'm like, she is just moving, and it inspires somebody. It inspires me, it inspires other people. So you just keep on doing that thing.
Thank you.
And we celebrate you. The whole Rock Your Stage community celebrates you. I love hearing people's stories.
Absolutely.
And so I love that you're sharing that story and being very transparent. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say, one more thing, was about your accent. And because again, you never know. Just talking about that and telling that story, that can absolutely shift somebody's life. I don't know how many of you guys know Joan Henry. So Joan Henry is she has a very thick Jamaican accent, and I remember this was probably like 3-4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. And she heard me speak at a couple things, and we got connected. And that was one of her challenges, was that she did not want to do her radio show because of her Jamaican accent, and she felt like people not going to understand me and this and that and the other. Honey, I was like, look, girl, I wish I had a Jamaican accent, girl. Like, right? Like, I do a horrible Jamaican accent. But if I had that accent, I'd be like, I'm international. What y'all talking about? International. So I just kept encouraging her to use her voice. Like, you got to use your voice based on what you've been given.
Yes.
Don't discount what you have. Don't discount the accent. Don't discount the fact that you're a grinder. Don't discount that you know how to bust out some books. Don't discount that it took you however long. You got the doggone degree, right? Don't discount what you have that will bless somebody else. So now Joan is doing her own radio show. She's been doing the radio show for, I guess, the past 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
She hosts these live events, and she always, whenever I see her, she's not often, she'll always say, Cheryl, remember
No,
when.
that's right.
I'm like, now that Jamaican accent getting you some checks.
Exactly. That's right.
So how do people connect with you? If they want to come on your show here on Vox Wave, or they want to be a part of one of your book anthologies, how can they connect?
Absolutely. I am Dr. Sharon, and that's Dr. Sharon across all social media platforms. Also, you can email my assistant.
Yes, email her assistant.
Assistant at SharonH.Porter.com.
I love it. You have to go through her people so that you get to Dr. Sharon now. I love it. Keep up the great work. Keep growing.
Thank
Amy
you.
Taylor says, yes, release the shame. That's one of her big things.
Right.
Is releasing the shame. Shout out to Amy Taylor. All right, guys, thanks for being here. We had an amazing show. We're going to see you here, same time, same place, again next Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Impact the World Radio. Have a great day.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work we're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over.